Welcome to 6-2, everybody. Every June 2nd, I like to do something Ninja Gaiden related in honor of one of the most infamous stages in video game history. This time we're going to take a long, hard look at stage 6-2 of the first Ninja Gaiden for the NES. We are going to do 6-2 Made Easy. So we're going to really try to dissect it. I don't do this perfect by any means, but I do it well enough to put everything together for a unkillable run, no death, front to back, which I've done with many Ninja Gaiden games at this point, the entire NES trilogy. But I wanted to really show the mechanics, break down this infamous section, and show that you can get through it relatively unscathed and play it pretty safe. Don't have to play it perfect, but you can play it safe enough to get through and get to 6-3, which I think we'll probably cover that some point later on too. So let's take a look here. Alright, pretty straightforward early on. I have the spinning saw blade here. I could have kept it, probably would have been wiser. However, we don't need it for this minute. Alright, this part right here, I want to stop right there and show you what I did. I did that totally intentionally, and it wasn't perfect, and it was intentionally not perfect, but it was safe. So if you're trying some kind of perfect run or speed run or something like that, you can probably throw a lot of this out the window, but I did want to show how it works. So what I did there was, there's a jetpack ninja that spawns right once you get to that wall after the green boxes. So once you take out the little henchman with the boomerang shuriken, the windmill shuriken, that's what I like to use anyway, you should have enough ninja art to take care of that. And then this guy, this jetpack bastard, flies and just tries to ram the hell out of you, and if you keep going, he'll get you right at the wrong time and he'll knock you off. So what I like to do there, to save a whole little world of trouble, is I like to actually grab onto the wall, eat the hit, because it only takes off one. You got a million hit points. Alright, so it only takes off one. Just let him ram right into you and let him pass. Then we have to mess with any kind of scrolling of the screen, because if you try to scroll the screen, a lot of times these guys respawn, so I don't like to backtrack if possible in this section. So after this guy passes, so we're going to go a little bit further here. Alright, I'm going to stop here too. Alright, so that guy passes. So now we get on this little long section. Now here you have two more jetpack ninjas. You can do jumping slashes well timed if you have the spinny saw blade attack there. Actually a pushover, so if you keep that, which I should have done here from an older playthrough, you can take them out pretty easily. But without it, I still like to attempt the jump slash here, even if you don't connect, even if they hit you. If you're in the air here, they won't knock you down. If you stay on the ground, there's actually a much larger chance they will. They'll juggle you around. So if you do a jump, chances are, as long as you keep going, they might hit you once or twice, but they shouldn't knock you off. And if you can take them out, go ahead and do so. But let's see here. See, I take a hit, I just keep going. Alright. And I got the spinny saw blade back. Once I did, I went right into it, and I did it once, and then again, and that protects you. If you hold on to it, that part's a lot easier. But if you can get it back right there, start using it right then, because that's one of the hardest parts. So once you get to this little segment here, let's keep going. Alright. Take that guy out, no big deal. Okay, next section. I use it right here. I use it right again, and I use it one more time. There we go. And I got the flame. Didn't have to, but I actually like to do this next part coming up without the spinny saw blade, because, well, you don't really need it for that part, and scrolling the screen is safer and a lot more straightforward. So I snag it here. Don't have to, you can go either way. But that one part, if we have the saw blade, which I used, I believe thrice. I took out the gunner, I took out the bat, I took out the bird, and I just kept going. And here I'm going to keep going now. Alright, standard shuriken, that's all we need here. Now this part, this is the infamous part. Alright. So right away I use that. And we're going to come up to a bat and a bird. And we're going to creatively scroll the screen. What I really want to avoid is the bat knocking me to the right. So you'll see me overcompensate here and try to steer him. I take a hit here, no big deal. But I'll show you how this works. Alright, take him out. Say, I really want to steer him. There we go. That bird, you see the S pattern, which is like rubber band physics. The more you move around, the wider that S pattern becomes. And what I'm trying to do is keep him to my right and then take him out and keep him from respawning, which is what I do exactly where I'm standing now. So there was the bat, there was the bird. Took care of that. So you see exactly where I'm at now. You saw how I controlled him, and I kept him over that way. And the reason I kept him to my right is because if he were to dive bomb me, he would knock me backwards and not forwards into the pit, which he would have done. So that's why I did that. I had a hit, no big deal. So now let's keep going again. Take out the bat, scroll a little bit, check the bat again. Alright. This saves you a world of trouble. You can use a shuriken, you can take him out, but if you're nice and patient here, this little dagger chucker guy will actually scroll off the screen and he will disappear. So check this out. Gone. Okay, so once he's gone, I scroll a little bit, trigger another bird. Now if you duck, he will soar above and behind you. Now from that point, you gotta keep moving. That's important because if he gets from behind here, he will knock you into the pit. So once he soars over, you trigger him, you duck him, you move. Check this out. Go. Alright, so we got another green jumpy guy. Okay, so we're going to try to meet him. Usually if he hits you here, you'll get knocked back onto the green box, but he's pretty easy to hit anyway. So you see what you're dealing with here. Alright. And once you land on the platform, duck again. Those rubber band physics kick in, and the bird soars right over you, and usually off screen. So you trigger him, you keep moving, you take that guy out, you get there, you duck, you wait. So here we are. Crisis averted. And this part's not too bad at all. This is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, take out that bird, move, go. Just take out whatever. You can hit whatever, great. That candle up on the upper left is a potion. And what I got there was the fire wheel. And we grab the potion with it, and we can get right to 6-3. There we go. That's it. That's all there is to 6-2. Really want to analyze that for you. Play it relatively safe, not perfect. You don't have to play perfect, but you can play safe and strategic if you know how. So that's 6-2, made easy. And hopefully you guys can end up using that to your advantage and apply your own strategies to that. But you can see once you really start dissecting this game, knowing the ins and outs, you can get through really hard parts without a whole lot of fuss. May of the June, baby.